I guess we're up and rolling, Keith. Hello, Red Raider fans. This is Gary McNeil along with
Keith Smith.
Yeah, Keith Smith and Carl King on camera once again, bringing you the London Red Raider sports. I want you to get a close-up, Carl, of our new shirts, courtesy of one of the sponsors. I want to thank you for that. And we're getting ready to get this. London's going to go get Tecumseh Arrows this first game this year. They have a stadium almost the same as ours, except it's about half the size. But right now, it's really a cute little place here.
Yeah, Gary, this town looks like they take their football seriously. New Carlisle, Tecumseh last year was 6-4, just missed the playoffs. Tonight we're going to see one of the featured backs in Western Ohio, a young man by the name of Tristan Murray. Ran for 7.7 yards a game last year, so
yeah,
he's the real Monty.
Right, he also ran for like 6 touchdowns in one game and ran like 342 yards a couple times, so he's going to be the one to look for. I think he runs like a 4.7, 4.6, something like that.
Well, on one of the Ohio high school football websites, I saw that the New Carlisle team has been ranked as high as 5 in Division II for the state of Ohio, so this team's the real deal.
And we also feature some pretty good kids in number 10.
Josh Dickens. Looking forward for a big game out of him tonight. And kind of a new style spread offense for London, which you might have saw a little bit on the scrimmage, but it's going to make for a very interesting offensive structure for London.
He's got some really good kids, and I think we can counteract this speed of this kid for them with the fact that we have a lot of speedsters ourselves. And that's Sean Myers, who's really come into his own. He's a glory seeker. I mean, he goes for a goal line every time he gets the ball, so look for big things out of him. Edley Boy, Jordan Brock. We've got a lot of kids coming back, so even though all of them aren't starters, I think we're only starting 3 kids from last year. Get 3 kids that were started last year, so we're looking forward to a good season.
Oh, tonight's going to be the kickoff and be a real determining factor on how well this London team's going to adapt to the new offense and all these new kids. You'll see a lot of new faces tonight, a lot of sophomores starting for London, so it's going to be a great ball game tonight, Gary.
By the way, Keith also got a new hat too, so I want you to make sure get a shot at Keith's new hat. He talked about my hat so much that he said he went out and got him one also. So anyway, Coach, folks, stick around. We got a football game coming at you right away, so don't go away. Here we have the marching arrows for Tecumseh, the marching band. Kind of feisty bunch of kids. You might see an up-tempo, upbeat Southern college type band.
Well, one thing we do get a look at here, Gary, is this beautiful turf in this stadium. This is a very nice facility they've got here.
It is nice, and I was looking at it first. I said, well, this is just like ours. When I got to the top here, I think we're just as high, but they want about half the size of the stadium on this side as we have. But what I do like is they have a field house down there, and they also have a field house underneath of the bleachers here, which makes it really nice.
Well, from what I understand, they're building this thing in sections. Last year they put the new field in. This year got the new grandstand, and next year they're going to add the new concession stands and the 8-lane track going around the outside. So it's going to be quite a facility.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Out here in the middle of nowhere.
Let's see if we can get Carl to sing a little here.
I think we're doing, well, he can sing now. Oh, by the way, I do want to call to your attention that when this game is over, at the end of this game, be sure and stay tuned, because I do have, we happen to have a celebrity in our midst by the name of Carl King. He had his 50th birthday recently, and had a big party for him in Arlington, and guess what? The mayor give him and his sister, twin sister, key to the city. So in order to get in Arlington, you got to go through Carl and get the key, because you can't get in if you don't get the key. So stick around. I want you to be sure. Oh no, he's got me on tape. I didn't know you had me, Carl. But anyway, I want you to be sure and check that out, because this is really, I think it's great that one of our people is so honored in his hometown. So at the end of this tape, you'll see the mayor of Arlington giving Carl and Carla King the key to the city. Thank you.
Second Lieutenant Letitia Jackson. The Ohio flag is being carried.
about 5 minutes of kickoff time. Here comes the arrows. Check out this little T they're going to run through. I bet only one player runs through that. Yeah. You had to be lined up perfect or you'd run into that wood and knock a bunch of players down, cheerleaders and girls and everybody down. Did you hear that announcement? He was rattling off her, wasn't he? That's pretty heavy. Okay. That's pretty impressive.
Tonight, the football program honors Mr. Howard Stahl as like a horse race. Mr. Stahl,
yeah.
From Tecumseh Local School.
It did sound like a horse race, didn't it?
Teacher, coach, assistant principal.
We'll be picking up London here in just a second. They'll be coming rolling out here.
Transportation.
A lot of times the home team waits to come out second. But it's like London's going to throw a little sportsmanship in here and wait on them.
And Skyler. Howard is active with the.
Yeah, well, we'll give the home team the benefit of the doubt. Springfield paper has picked Tecumseh just to roll over us. So it's going to be interesting to see what the outcome is because, like I said, they're coming in with a new offense. This whole thing is new to the kids, but I think we have a lot of smart kids, a lot of fast kids, a lot of athletes, period. So I think that's going to make the big difference. What you got there?
Well, I just got a newspaper article here from the Wizard from the Springfield paper.
Oh, okay. What's the Wizard saying?
He says in here, London at Tecumseh. Tristan Murray on offense and Deacon Mena on defense means one thing, a win by the Arrows. Tecumseh 35, London 13.
There you have it. We're waiting on London. Slowly sneaking out of the little hut over there. Is that the Red Raider hut? Yeah. And the London team is the head coach is Dustin Calhoun, and his assistant coaches are Mike Wilson, Matt Calhoun, Joe Johnson, Ron Bolin, Jay Hoy, Brian Decker, and Glenn Mannion. And Brian Decker, we want to thank you very much for giving us the lineups and letting us get us a jump start on the program this year. And I will be coming at you more than once for your help.
Actually, Brian's new to the program. Well, I understand from talking to Coach Calhoun's father that this will be the first game he's been here for. So, taking their time. We only got 1:15 left to go before kickoff, and London still hasn't taken the field.
It's maybe they're going to run right straight to the field, and the rest of the players will run to the sidelines. And evidently, we're going to receive. I think the way they're lining up out there.
Here comes the Raiders.
Welcome our guests this evening.
And here comes the London Red Raiders.
This year's captains are senior Josh Dickin and junior Jordan Brock.
And they're looking to Dickens to carry the load. He is a go-getter and has been ever since I've known the kid. I've been hard on him the last couple years. And I hope that it comes to pass. He's going to be everything we figured he was going to be.
Well, he's the leader. When I was here tonight earlier, I was talking to one of the assistant coaches for New Carlisle who apparently knows Josh through a cousin of his, and he was kind of wanting to know why London would play Josh so much on defense and on offense. And I said, well, he's the leader of the team. All the kids look to him to set the tone, to set the pace. So it's real important for him to be out there on the field.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he played a lot of both ways last couple of years anyway. So, and he's one of them kids that's been in the weight room and the whole program from season to season. So you can bet your boots he's probably in the top shape of anybody out there.
Yeah, it looks like we got number 7, Donnie Stroop, the quarterback's going to be kicking off for the Arrows. Deep to receive for the Red Raiders, number 32, Jordan Brock, and number 12, Sean Myers.
Donnie Stroop is set to kick off for the Arrows. Sean Myers and Jordan Brock back to receive for London.
Is that D. Filippo up front?
Looks like up backs.
34?
Matt Russell and D. Filippo.
Okay. And we have a kickoff.
Season's underway. It's short. It's Jordan Brock. He fumbles.
And the first play of the game, and we have a turnover. Loss of concentration.
That's number 5, Tom Fisker on the football there for the Arrows.
That's opening game jitters. Now we're going to have to work our tails off to get out of this hole. I think he lost. I don't know. You can't tell whether the sun is in their eyes because they're looking right into the sun. I guess the field is north and south, but looks like the sun is coming out of the... And arrow's off. And arrow, first play of the game, number 40.
That's number 40, Deacon Minna, transfer from Greenon with his first carry for the Arrows and a touchdown.
And the score, we have a score of 6-0 right now with only 10 seconds off the clock. We'll give you a score after the kick.
Oh, these Tecumseh fans are real.
Yeah, we're up.
Oh. Tecumseh fans are excited here. This stadium's filling up.
Well, I would be excited too after a situation like that. Basically, we just gave them a touchdown.
Stroop to hold,
which is
Seth Clark for the extra point.
The kick is up.
And it's good. So we have a score, 7-0. The Arrows with 11:49 to go in the first quarter. After a turnover on the kickoff, the Arrows score now 7-0. That could be a little discouraging. Let's hope London doesn't fold under the pressure, because that, a situation like that, and give up the kickoff, and then first play of the game score could really put you down.
Well, London is very young, and we can probably expect some mistakes early in the season, but I think they're going to learn from it, and I think Jordan Brock will grab onto the ball next time around.
Yeah, to me, that was just a loss of concentration, and then the next move was to get the ball. Don't worry about picking up and running, and there I go coaching, which I have no business doing, but just be sure you got the ball if you have to fall on it.
Well, same receiving formation for London we saw 10 seconds ago, Gary. Same kickoff unit for...
Yeah, we don't change anything for that situation. It was just an unfortunate deal. And we just got to tuck it in and suck it up and go back and score. That's a pretty field. How do you like that centerpiece there? That's nice, isn't it?
This is a beautiful stadium. Done a nice job. It's got a nice crown to the field. You can see it when you're down at ground level.
Yeah, somebody's done their homework. Got the goalpost painted. Bright orange, or that's iridescent, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like a fluorescent yellow to me.
Yeah, fluorescent, that's what you want to call it?
Oh, here comes Stroop to kick off again for New Carlisle. Kicked the last one down to about the 20. This one's down about the 15. That's Sean Myers.
Takes this one right up the middle. And he's got room. He's looking for pay dirt. Oh, he's going to be knocked down on about the 42-yard line.
Number 7, Donnie Stroop on the tackle, the kicker.
A return of about 20 yards, 25 maybe. I wasn't sure where he picked that ball up at.
The ball is on their own 42-yard line.
Well, Sean did a nice job of running north and south, just trying to get through the line and make as much ground as he can.
And that's the best way to go, north and south.
Now we're going to see London's new spread offense. You're going to see as many four receivers out to the side.
And we have a timeout, London. This is a new offense, and there is going to be some miscommunications and situations, but first game, this is almost like a preseason situation, really.
Let's try
the first test.
Well, we got a break here, Gary. Let's talk about some of the new rules this year in the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Okay, tell me about them, Keith.
Well, one of the main ones is that none of the players except for the linemen are allowed to block below the waist from now on.
Right.
So your linemen within the blocking area are allowed to block below the waist. But
say tackle to tackle?
Tackle to tackle, but any of the running backs or wide receivers are not allowed to use what's called a cut block or a block at the legs. They've got to block above the waist. And that's just mainly for safety there. So.
Right. And back to the game.
Let's pick out some of the players. 23, Kyle Gillespie on your screen to the bottom at wide receiver. Sean Myers, 12, in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Dickens, a quarterback. Jordan Brock's his running back beside him.
Hand off to Brock. Brock up the middle. He picks up a good 10 yards. He's short by about a yard of picking up first down.
Nice seal block that time by Justin Dillard, number 75, the left tackle. He He smothered his man.
It's the no-huddle offense. Diller's coming to his own this year. A lot of people thought he should have played a lot more last year than he did. Being a senior, he's going to show him his stuff now.
Same setup for London. Looks like number 5, Josh Alcott on top of your screen. He's a burner.
Well, London's spreading them out pretty much. And nothing doing as we take a loss of about 1.5 yards. Dickens, the ball carrier.
Well, that was a kid, Deacon Minner, on the tackle there that scored a touchdown for New Carlisle. So he's their leader on defense for middle linebacker.
That brings up 3rd and 7. 3rd and 3 for London.
You notice London has 3 different coaches signaling in signals to the players. Wide receivers take one signal, running backs take another, quarterback takes another.
Now the main thing, we have to have all the coaches on the same page, huh? Not just this side of the field.
Let's pass out to Myers.
That was a little scary there. So London's going to 4 downs and out.
That's going to bring in the punt team. We saw last week Jordan Brock throwing a pass out of a punt situation to Sean Myers when he was left uncovered out on the left side.
We're spread out like who knows what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jordan was punting them a good 40 yards in practice, so he's got a nice leg, the junior punter.
Aimed over him, but he's getting some distance on it. Oh,
it's Tristan Murray back there,
down.
And he's down.
Down on about the 4-yard line. Tristan Murray, that's their superstar, wasn't it?
Well, that's their main running back there.
So it just goes to show you that anybody can
make a mistake
and make a fumble. There's a kid who's all everything last year and 3 or 4 year starter. So
actually been being recruited by a lot of major Division I colleges.
Right.
So anybody can make a mistake now and then.
So now we need to have to capitalize on this, and we got them pinned back on the 4-yard line, 1st and 10. The score is 7-0.
We'll pick up some defensive numbers for London. Number 50, Derek Wallace, and number 62, John Lewis in there on the defensive line. Also 67, Billy Gossard. Those are the guys you don't hear much of unless they do something bad a lot of times.
Got a quick hitter.
Deacon Minner, the ball carrier.
Deacon Minner, the ball carrier that time. And he was brought down by
I didn't
catch his number. Evidently their spotters can't see it either.
About 4 yards to go for the Arrows.
Take a look at London's linebacking core. Looks like we've got Brandon Edley, Pat O'Farrell, Jordan Brock, and Nick DiFilippo.
And we got 2nd and 4 on the 11-yard line.
There's that wing.
We had him contained there for a minute, but he's able to get loose. Tristan Murray finally brought down by number 50, Derek Wallace.
Picks up a 1st down for the Arrows.
Well, Gary, that's that wing T offense that New Carlisle's running. Basically, they run a lot of different misdirection in the backfield, and you're not really sure who's going to end up with the ball. So
right.
That time it was Tristan Murray, and he made a nice move. And,
he looked like he's pretty well contained, but then when you got a running back of his caliber, you usually want to take more than 1 or 2 people to contain him. Got a 1 back at this time.
There's Tristan Murray again.
He just jumped over 2 tacklers. And he won't go down. He's still up and running, and he's going to make a play out of this. All the way down to the 40-yard line, finally brought down by Sean Myers. This kid was hit, jumped over players, hit again, jumped over players. He's a runner.
Sean Myers in on the stop for London, but not until Murray picks up another 1st down for the Arrows.
It was a nice open field tackle there by Sean Myers to finally bring down Murray.
Well, another thing, and we have to be very fair about this. Almost everybody we got out there are new to the starting, job for London. So basically, we're playing. We got a rookie team out there. It's going to take some getting together.
That's Deacon Minna running the ball.
Jordan Brock in on that tackle. And Myers. Brock and Myers. Are they running the linebacker spots?
4 yards on the play. Make that 5 yards on the play.
Myers and Brock. I couldn't see where they lined up.
Linebacker position, but Myers is playing a corner. So.
Okay, I couldn't see where they came from.
Going to bring up about 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. The ball is on London's 35-yard line.
This New Carlisle team was 6-4 last year, and they're looked to be greatly improved this year. They got a lot of 3-year starters on offense. So that's Deacon Minna, the fullback.
Quick hitter up the middle, and he's good for a first down. Deacon Minna, brought down by 23. Kyle Gillespie. And we have another first down. We have 8:10 to go in the first quarter. We still have a score of 7-0.
The ball's on London's 28.
And the Arrows are slowly moving down the field. They're on the 28-yard line now.
Probably won't look for New Carlisle to throw the ball a lot. They've got Donnie Stroop. It's his 3rd year starting at quarterback.
Oh, good play up front. Oh. Good play. I'm going to see who finally made that. Stand up. 31.
That'll be Matt Russell.
Matt Russell stood his ground, made a super play there.
No gain on the play.
No gain at all.
Matt's a junior. He played a lot last year as a sophomore.
Matt's a hard-nosed, go-getter kid. It's going to take a lot to get him out of there.
Another one of the inside linebackers, 55, Pat O'Farrell. We're expecting big things out of him as a sophomore, too.
You got this Aaron Roby, number 3. He's supposed to be the fastest player on the team. He's out here with the wide out. And misdirection to the opposite side. And we got a flag down. He's finally brought down by Jordan Brock. Holmes was your ball carrier that time.
That looked like that flag was thrown in the territory of holding there. And that's what it's going to be.
Now we also got an official up here with us, Carl. This is a new one for us. We're right next to our cameraman, so he'll get excited every once in a while. You'll hear him. Hold him.
Well, Gary, let's cover a couple more of the rule changes here while we got a little bit
keep on.
We'll
Cover a couple more of the rule changes.
A lot of times in high school, when somebody runs into the punter or the kicker, everybody always thinks that there's a 5-yard or a 15-yard penalty option, and that hasn't been true up until this year. They finally added that to the high school game. So if you barely run into the punter or blocked into the punter, it's not necessarily always going to be a 15-yard penalty.
It's not necessarily always going to be a first down either.
Yeah, it won't necessarily be a first down all the time either. So.
Okay, they got one back. And a double reverse. And it's gone nowhere. I'll pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards. 2 or 3. Let's see where they moved it. Well, they still didn't get a first down out of it.
21, Johnny Kendall.
Well, they lost a lot of yards.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for the Arrows.
Don't be giving them the whole bunch of yards, Carl. Zoom out wide so you can't see how far they went.
Well, let's see if the Arrows got a passing attack here. Passing situation when you got a runner like Murray.
3rd and 12. Yeah, probably the thing is to get the ball in his hands.
He fakes
they got a passer.
Strop back to pass.
And they're going for goal.
Deep for number 5.
And it's incomplete. And it was, I'm not sure whether it was knocked out of his hands or not. Looked like he just missed it.
He was going for Tom Pfister, his senior split end out there, and looks like Sean Myers is back there to defend the play.
Sean Myers defended well. He was right in front of him, but I couldn't tell whether the ball went in the receiver's hands and he dropped it or what. But Myers had perfect coverage on it.
This is pretty much 4-down territory for the Arrows. They're too far away to kick a field goal and too close to punt, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 12.
They're lining up with one back.
Now they're not a straight wing team. They got Murray out in the slot, number 22.
They're looking short.
Brandon
and it's picked off by Edley. Edley's got some room. He's got wheels. And London makes good. Picked off by Monty Edley, or Brandon Edley, Monty's son.
Very athletic.
I hear you. Return it to the 50. That's a good plus there.
That's keeping your head up on defense and looking for the ball.
That's what I'm talking about. I am really so happy for Edley because this young man has been pressing hard and hard and hard. He's a senior now, and he's getting his dues. I look for big things out of him this year. If he's anything like his cousins, who left here and went to North Carolina, he's going to be a toughie.
Well, he's lining up on tight end in the slot at the top of your screen right now. So 4 receivers out for London.
Dickens. And London's got a fumble there. Loose ball.
Again.
Loose ball. It's a double fumble, look like. If you want to call it that, but anyway, the Arrows take possession again.
The end result of that is London loses the ball on a fumble. I can't really say it was execution there. I think maybe a little unsure of the play call from the running back and the quarterback. So
it's hard to say what it was.
Arrows will take over 1st and 10. The ball is on London's 42-yard line.
Well, look for the same offensive set. This is the wing T again. Stroop at quarterback. Minna at fullback. That's Murray in motion.
They're rolling out in the pass
Stroop's
situation.
The pass. He's looking deep.
He let her go.
25.
Oh, Myers, they played that perfect. Myers and number 3, Roby.
That's Aaron Roby back there.
We're back there.
Incomplete.
They're not very tall, but they played some super defense on that. And Myers almost came up with the ball.
That was Dickin back there, I think.
Was Dickin back there?
It'll be second and
Number
10.
10.
Okay, I thought I seen 12. Okay. Sorry, Josh. My bad. I owe you one, buddy. Okay, we got 5:41 to go in the first
Brought
quarter.
2 receivers at the bottom of the screen down here, and they've only got 1 London player on.
And London's Holland looking for somebody. I don't think Tecumseh saw it.
Yeah,
It was just a diversion anyway.
yeah.
In on that tackle was number 55,
That's Pat O'Farrell on the tackle.
O'Farrell, and he had help. I think it might have been number 50, Derek Wallace.
Number 3,
Gossard.
Aaron Roby was down here on the
Billy-
bottom of the screen yelling for help.
Yeah, I guess Gossard was in on the stop for London also.
Gain of about 5 yards on the play. 3rd and 5 for the Arrows. The ball is now on London's 37-yard line.
Well, this time they're lining up Murray at the fullback position. Slot out to the left. It's not a straight wing T. They're going Murray.
And anytime you go Murray, you got a loose cannon.
He is slippery, Gary.
Oh,
He
he's
is
all over the
slippery.
place. He reminds me a lot of myself.
I was telling Carl before the game how this new Carlisle team's not extremely big. I said one of their guards is only 190, and Carl said, well, he played guard. He was 145.
But he was a feisty little devil. That's why he got the key to the city.
10 with the ball on London's 26-yard line.
Well, I guess the old saying goes, you can't run, you block, right?
Just take up some space, get in the way. Okay.
Well, Minna back in at fullback.
Trips out to the left. Quick hitter up the middle.
Deacon Minna, the ball carrier.
Tell you what, he put some punishment on Matt Russell right there.
Russell,
And
he hung in
67
there.
Gossard, oh, they hung in there tough.
Billy Gossard.
He's a big, Minna's big time runner.
Gain of about 3 yards on the play.
We have 2nd and 6. The ball's on the 23-yard line. With the exception of the big fumble we've had so far,
Now on London's
we haven't really done that bad. Had another, 2 fumbles.
After this play, we'll have to catch how much time's left in the quarter.
Deacon Minna, the ball carrier.
He's 6'4", 215 pounds coming up the gut with that ball. He's hard to bring down.
Yeah, and that's the old grinded out Woody Hayes type thing. We're down to under 4 minutes to go in the quarter.
First down for the Arrows.
And Arrows pick up a first down on the 23-yard line. 1st and 10. The ball's on the 13-yard line now.
22 Murray's checking out. Number 21 John Kendall, a fresh set of legs coming in for the Arrows.
Look, he's hurt.
That's Kendall.
Hit him.
John Kendall, the ball carrier.
Their quarterback's pretty tricky too.
That wing T offensive set kind of leads it to be that way.
He's hurt.
22, what's his name?
Murray.
Gain of about 5 yards.
He's getting some medical attention, looks like.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that's not the one that had the asthma thing, is it? Inhaler? Yeah. That's pretty smart to take him out.
2nd 5 straight wing T set.
Coming to the short side,
Here comes Minna, the fullback.
and he's just going to run over people.
The ball carrier.
Number 10, and Dickens upset him, took his legs out from under him.
He's a load, Matt Russell and Wes Hannenberg there on the tackle for the Raiders.
It only makes sense to use somebody that big to keep pounding at you when you get down that close.
Timeout for a measurement.
And we have a timeout for a measurement.
Well, with what I've seen so far from the Arrows, London needs to keep their defensive backs and safeties kind of up a little bit. Looks like they're going to be running about 90% of the time.
Yeah, they create such a diversion off that offense.
It's first down for the Arrows.
And Minna picks up a first down for the Arrows.
Seem like they have a very smart quarterback, but like we said, this team is 3-year starters on this team. So,
actually, I had 16 returning starters last year out of 22, and I think 8 on each side of the ball. So that's a lot more in London's.
I think London had 3 returning starters. So we got a timeout there. I don't know what her name is, but London has a new trainer too. I've heard nothing but good. I'll find out what her name is. I heard nothing but good review on her. She's not in the book, but I think when I was told she's a London grad, and come back, and AD Terry Nance went out and got her to be the trainer, and they say she's excellent. She's right on top of every situation. Not very old, doing a great job. And I'll get your name and let you people know who she is. First chance I get.
Looks like timeout's over. They're going to have to turn on the lights here pretty soon, Gary. We're going to have to turn on Carl's headlights on his van. I don't know which.
We got first and goal here. They got a cute little setup here. First and goal, Wall's on the 5-yard line.
Formation stretch to the left. That's Minna the.
And they're going wide. He's going in. He laid a stiff arm out there on Myers that, I mean, it was like a board coming out and just upset him. How big is that, number 40?
He's 6'4", 215. He's been playing varsity football. This is his 4th year. He transferred from Greenon, and he's a player.
See, that also tells you how lethal a weapon a good stiff arm is. If you know how to use a stiff arm, it's almost like Myers running to a clothesline and just upset him.
Seth Clark in for the extra point.
Seth Clark in for the extra point. Drop the hold.
And we have a score of 14-0. Arrows ahead. We're still in the first quarter with 2:40 to go. We have 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Arrows just scored. Ready for the kickoff. Arrows are kicking. This is their 3rd time to kick off. They scored 2 touchdowns. We still are in the first quarter with 2:40 to go.
Yeah, Gary, what we're going to see here is the character of all these sophomores. See if they're going to see how much fight they got in the young dogs out there for London.
Well, if you want to be, realistic, you're going to take some tough knocks starting out. But the main thing is progress as we go along. We're only like 4 or 5 boys over the limit of being in Division 4.
And this is a Division II school we're up against.
And we have a flag on the kickoff. Looks like it could have been offsides.
Flag on the play.
Penalty's going to go against the Arrows. Illegal procedure. What I was saying, we've got 4 boys too many. That puts us in Division 3. Otherwise, we would be in Division 4. Can you imagine where we could go into Division 4?
Illegal procedure against the Arrow.
We've got a newly aligned Central Buckeye Conference, or Central Buckeye League, I think it's called. This year we got some new teams, and we got a big school division where London will play a round-robin schedule against everybody in the division. So, I mean, London's got a couple non-league games. They've got Sunbury Big Walnut next weekend, then Springfield Northeastern, and then a non-league game against Utica, and that's no slouch there either.
This is probably about the toughest schedule that I've seen London have for many years. You're looking at Lakewood, Bexley, Miami Trace is on our schedule this year.
Washington Courthouse is actually not considered a league game because they're in the small division of the schedule. But when you're talking Whitehall, Lakewood, Licking Valley, Columbus, Bexley, and Miami Trace.
And here we have a kickoff. Jordan Brock's going to handle the ball this time. He's picking his way. And he's going to be stopped at about the 36-yard line. Driven back.
Jordan Brock brings the ball up for London.
38 maybe. For a kickoff.
Brian Dalton, Paul Crossdale.
Now, am I wrong in assuming that did we kind of set up our
It'll be 1st and 10 for
return kind of slow there?
Going to be spotted on their own 38-yard line.
It seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like everything was in slow motion.
Let's try to catch some of London's linemen here. That's Justin Dillard starting at left tackle, Pat O'Farrell at right tackle. Should have John Lewis out there at one of the guards. Tyler Scott's the center. And Josh Duffy might even be out there.
Got Mars and Gillespie to this side.
Jordan Brock, the ball carrier.
Jordan Brock, your ball carrier, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards, maybe 4,
In on the stop for the Arrows.
which will make it 2nd and 7.
Sorry, take that back, Gary. It's Kyle Thomas out there at right guard. Really important in this offense is the job that Tyler Scott does getting the ball back to the quarterback. The shotgun is not an easy situation for a high school team to run.
And you got a lot of people spread out there. We got number 5 Alcott closest to you. Number 5 here in the near sideline.
I understand Tyler Scott, the center's got a broken hand on his snapping hand. So there's Edley.
Dickens pass intended for Sanders, incomplete. Tom Pfister breaking up the play.
And it was kind of cracked pretty good there.
Yeah.
We were getting our fingers on the ball, but for some reason, I don't know, we just got the jitters or what. We're just not catching the ball. It's 3rd and 7.
You got that screen pass out there, and you're just kind of a sitting duck waiting for that ball to get to you, and that linebacker or safety's closing on you quick. It's tough to make that play.
But then once again, I say it's all part of the game. Catch the ball and take the hit.
Be 3rd and 8.
Or make a play. It's easy for me to say, huh? Dickens rolls to the right.
He's got room to run.
He's going to keep it.
That's Minna.
He shed one tackle, and he's going to. Looks like he may have picked up a 1st down.
Knocked his
Dickens runs hard, buddy.
He put his head down and got that 1st down. That was quite an effort by Josh Dickens.
Oh, Josh ain't playing. He's serious. How big is Josh this year? Got a size on him?
That looks like 6 foot, 200 pounds.
And that's probably 200 pounds of muscle, too.
I'll tell you what, his fellow teammates are looking to him, and when they saw him turn that corner with determination to get that 1st down, he may be sending a message to his other players that, hey, we're still in this ball game.
Oh, yeah. We're 14-0 right now. London's down with 1:37 to go in the 1st quarter. But barring a couple mistakes, the score would be 0-0, and maybe we may have a score.
We got Gillespie and Alcott spread wide. Myers in a slot. Brandon Edley's going to be lined up the tight end on the bottom of your screen. Jordan Brock at the tailback and Josh Dickens at the quarterback.
And we got to remember, this is all new. Quick handoff to Brock, and I didn't like him. He's doing a lot of switching hands with that ball.
Number 54, David Coberly on the tackle there.
You see him, he started right, and then come back left, and all in the same motion, he's switching that ball to the left side, and you're opening yourself up for a turnover real easy.
You know, Jordan's a very different runner than what we had in B.J. Laney last year. B.J. just grabbed the ball, tuck it underneath, put it in his belly, and
try to run over people
down and run over top of people. I think Jordan to try to feature his speed a little bit more. Dickens
makes
round right, options to
and pitch
block.
out. Who we got there? Was that Brock?
That's Brock. Brought down by 25 Heath Holmes and 40 Deacon Minna.
And that was a last-second pitch out. That was a beautiful.
Oh, and you got an athletic quarterback like Josh Dickens. I think you can do some of those things.
It's 1st and 10.
It looks kind of scary.
It is scary because you got defensive people sitting out there waiting to pick that off. It has to be right on the money.
This time London's going to put Gillespie down at the bottom of your screen with Edley and Myers in the slot.
And we got Aaron Roby to the opposite side. We're down under 30 seconds.
1st and 10 from the arrow 27.
Dickens sets up.
Pass. Myers wide open.
Myers got a little room. Oh, he's upset there.
Tom Pfister on the stop along with number 21.
Had nowhere to go.
I think Pfister there for the Arrows kind of paid Sean back on breaking up that long touchdown attempt there. So.
And they probably know Myers. Myers, he could be a game breaker.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter.
And we're going to run it down, and the first quarter ends with a score of 14-0. Arrows on top, and London on the 26-yard line making an attempt to score. Well, Keith, we're getting ready to start the second quarter here. 14-0 in favor of the Arrows. London's making an attempt. Now they're on the 26-yard line. 2nd and 9. What was that all about?
Well, Gary, I was trying to figure out where number 22 took off to for the Arrows. Murray, their star tailback, was injured, and now I don't even see him on the sideline.
He looked like he's down on his knee.
Yeah, he did look like he was down. They're not going to call that. Dickens gets 4 yards around the left-hand side there.
I don't know whether we missed the call or whether they missed the call, but it looked like he went down on his knee to pick a bat. And that's what I was concerned about, was the snapper on this offense, because that ball has to come right to, it has to get to your quarterback, and has to get to him quick.
Well, I said Tyler Scott's worked very hard this offseason getting ready for this, and then he ended up breaking a finger on his snapping hand. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that.
Extra tough for him. But
oh, they was waiting on that one. That was almost as bad as a little toss-out pass like that to the side, and they're sitting there waiting on you. You're a sitting duck. That makes it 4th and 6.
Tell you what, Jordan Brock turned that corner and ran into a brick wall coming at him.
I'm not even sure he got the turn. He got the ball, and hello.
4th down for London.
4th and 6. We're in go-for-it territory.
Yep. Tell you what, though, Jordan hopped right back up. He's ready to play.
Oh, he's a gamer.
He's a gamer.
No doubt about that.
2 men in the slot to your bottom of your screen. Look for Dickens to pass to his right. He's going for Myers underneath.
And we're going to get a first down out of it. How good play. All right.
Sean Myers is complete.
Right.
Well, Myers started in the slot on the bottom of your screen and just wiggled his way across to the linebackers there and found some open ground.
And that's a smart receiver there. He's going to get to an open area where he can get the ball, and it also says something for Dickens being able to follow him and find him in that open area. So it's 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. London got some new life.
Same formation again for London that they just got the first down off of. Myers and Edley in the slot. Gillespie out far to the right.
Quick handoff to Jordan Brock, and he's gone for the goal, and he gets down to about the 5-yard line.
Gets him down to the 5-yard line. That's going to make like 2nd and 1.
He was
nice carry by Jordan Brock.
Shaking and baking. Hey, at that time I did. Uh-oh, somebody's down.
Princeton on the stop for the Arrows.
Who is that?
Justin Dillard's down for the
Oh,
Raiders.
man, it looks like he's holding his leg, too. I hope it ain't bad.
We have an official timeout.
That's all he needs, because this kid has worked so hard to get to this point. Let's hope it's nothing bad. Home power, so that's a good sign.
It's like 55 Pat O'Farrell's checked in at the tackle position.
We're looking
This time London's going to line up in an I backfield. Matt Russell at fullback.
2nd and 1 on the 1-yard line.
Tailback. That's Jordan Brock. He fumbled.
And got it back. Whoa.
Jordan Brock, the ball carrier.
He's having his troubles holding on that ball tonight.
He got hit.
Yeah, he got hit.
Dylan George, David Coberly on the stop for the Arrows.
It's going to bring up 3rd and almost 4 for the Raiders.
Yeah, it was.
7-yard line.
2nd and 1. We lost 2 yards. 3rd and 3 according to the board. Long 3.
I like this package with Matt Russell at fullback. He's a good lead blocker. That's going to be a first down for the Raiders.
It's going to be awful close. I'm not sure what. You think he got in there?
Gary.
Are you the official?
I say he made it.
Okay, Hawkeye.
On the stop for the Arrows.
Yeah, he made it.
He made it. That's official now. Carl told him. Carl told him. It's official.
That's going to make it first and goal, and
First and goal, and London's knocking on the door.
It's first and goal for London.
Like I said before, there's a couple of them,
3-yard line.
more or less mental mistakes probably,
well, London's
that put us in that little hole.
checking in another tight end. Number 34, Nick DeFilippo, is going to line up at tight end. Edley at tight end. This is pretty much a Buffalo package.
We're up tight here.
That's Jordan.
I don't think we.
He had the legs cut out on him by number 40, Deacon Minna, right there.
Yeah, he was caught in the backfield. And as soon as he got hold of his hands on the ball, he was upset.
Going to bring up second and goal from the 5.
This is what I was concerned about with this new offense.
Second and goal.
What do we do when we get down the short yardage like this? Timeout, London. 10-5.
That's the next
The ball's on the 5-yard line.
against Graham.
8:11 to go in the second quarter. The score is 14-0 right now.
London's decided to go back to the spread offense.
That'd be my thought. That's first what we were saying during the timeout there. Don't change nothing now. Spread them out.
Dickens rolls.
Dickens going to keep it. They're going to force him out of bounds on about the 2-yard line,
Dickens, the ball carrier.
which will make it third and 2. Third and goal.
Like third and goal from the 1.
Because they can't score. They can't get a first down here, can they?
Nope.
I didn't think there was any.
Third and goal for London.
Third and goal.
Spotted on about the 1-yard line of the arrow.
Keep the spread out there.
Keep a spread.
Now London's receivers look a little confused as to what the signal is.
Yep.
You hate to use a timeout here, but it might be worth taking one if you're not sure.
Why don't we just go ahead and score and we just time out later? Dickens looking for a hole, and he's not going to get in.
Dickens, the ball carrier.
And we got another 4th and 1.
He thought about
Andy
pitching,
Burns.
I know it.
but it would have been bad.
In on the
He did. You could see him looking for the pitch, and they were waiting for it.
Yeah.
timeout.
That's a situation there to me where it looked like you would have somebody be able to come out and just come right back, just turn, and find you an open spot there for a quick pass play.
Well, the tough part on an option play like that is without a tight end in there, it only gives you 2 guys left of the center to do the blocking over there. And just defensive numbers rule a little bit.
Time. Now's the time to suck it up and get it done. Fourth and goal. London's down by 2 touchdowns. We are in the second quarter. 7:44 to go. We're going to get a penalty if we don't watch out. We switched enough people. We're not sure where we want to go.
Dickens going to roll to the right,
And it's knocked down. And arrows hold on the 1-yard line.
broken up by Tom Fister, number 5.
It was a great effort, though. We got it to the 1-yard line next time we go in.
Yeah, Gary, that's the way you got to look at it. You got to look at the positive part of that. I mean, you could look at it, you know, the arrows just put an arrow right through London's heart by stopping that drive.
And in their minds, they did. But in our minds, I feel like we got to the 1-yard line with a new offense, a new bunch of kids, another game or so, and say another 4 quarters of play, and these kids are going to be ready. There was a lot of confusion on that. I thought they was going to get a delay of game penalty, and it might have helped them to get one.
Number 40, Minna, and Matt Russell takes him down.
Minna, the ball carrier.
Russell and Anderberg.
Yeah, Matt did a nice job
tackle
of stepping into the off-tackle hole there and filled the gap and took him head on.
They haven't punted yet, have they?
Gain of about 7 yards.
Talking about arrows?
Right.
Second and 3.
No.
Ball is on.
Has anybody punted?
Oh, yeah, we punted.
Yeah, we punted and we just lose the ball.
No, we punted.
That's right. Brock, I remember Brock punting that one, went about 30 yards.
Come on now, let's go.
Okay, we've got a wide out to the near side of the field here.
Oh, man, missed him.
And we got a loose cannon out there.
O'Farrell almost got in there and made some corruption in the backfield.
Missed him.
Matt Russell.
Sometimes from your center linebacker position, you've got to just bull rush in there, try to disrupt something.
First down for the Arrows.
Yeah, we were talking the other day about how fast Roby is, number 3. And sometimes you got to learn how to contain that quickness, that speed. It can work against you also.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Arrows here.
They've come from the 1-yard line to the 20. And we got a penalty.
We're going to call a substitution penalty on the Arrows. Basically what they did was they had 12 men in the huddle and then sent one of them off.
Preliminary indication, a substituted fraction against the Arrows. The cheerleaders would like to thank the Spirit sponsors for
He's doing it all today. I'm happy for him.
He's studying.
Yeah, he's done his homework.
The footballs that the cheerleaders are throwing were donated by the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Thank you again, sponsors, for your donation.
I think there was a movie a couple years ago about the lonely end. Well, New Carlisle's got a lonely end that's always playing way far away from everybody
Brings
else.
Roby out here away from the play.
Yeah.
And they're going to slip him in there one of these times, and you're going to look for it.
That's Tristan Murray. He's slippery.
Oh, boy.
Good downfield block.
They can't get this kid down.
Myers will take it.
That's what, get material. That's the old saying, get material and hold on. Well, this Murray, he is tricky.
Tristan picks up a first down for the Arrows.
You can tell he's been in a lot of 21 tag games. A game where you're not out until everybody's it. Next thing, one person and everybody's after him. He's a very elusive runner.
Nice misdirection by the whole offense at the beginning of the play, which really gives Tristan Murray a chance to just get away from everybody else. There's Murray again.
He slipped on that one.
Looks like number 12 Myers is hurt.
Let's hope not. He's one of our key players.
Sean Myers in on the stop.
Is he hurt, or is his ego hurt? I think he's upset because he missed that, didn't get that tackle like he wanted. No, he's holding his hand. He might have clipped the wrist there.
Official timeout for
Looked like he landed on it when he was diving to
And
make
we have
the
official timeout.
Nope, Murray picks up a first down for the Arrows.
1st and 10 on the 44-yard line.
Must use a laser to determine that.
This drive here could be a real confidence booster for the Arrows if they take it 99 yards for pay dirt.
Yeah, because London was starting to make them look like
5-yard line.
we was going to do a job with them.
There's 42 going.
In the round, he done full.
Nice tackle by
42.
Wes Anderberg, number 33.
Wes Anderberg on the stop.
Wes Anderberg. That's a good contained tackle there where he got out there. And
yards on the play.
Well, it kind of looked like Stroop was taking it down here toward the bottom of your screen, the quarterback.
this quarterback is pretty slick. I was saying that earlier. He carries out his fakes the whole 9 yards.
Now, from wing T offense, like I said, the idea is a lot of misdirection, a lot of confusion.
We still have a score of 14-0.
Got the lonely end on the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
Wing T formation.
And we have
That's delay a game.
Flag on the play. Preliminary indication, delay a game against the Arrows.
delay a game against the Arrows.
You go, Keith.
I don't know what the official is that plays all the way in the back of the middle. I think he might be the umpire, but he's a timekeeper. So if you ever see the flag thrown by that man, way back there out of Carl's screen, he's the one that keeps track of the time. So.
Okay, how do we know if it's going to be a pass play or not?
Ask Carl.
I'm asking you. Is the tackle stand up or stay down?
Oh. That's Minna coming around the side.
He tries to stretch out for an extra yard or two.
Anderberg and Edley on the tackle.
Wes Anderberg on the stop for London.
Oh, Gary, I think what you're talking about came up in our talk during the scrimmage last week where London's corners seemed to be a little soft, and somebody up in the booth was commenting on them not taking a good read on what the offensive tackle was doing. If the offensive tackle was firing out, the cornerback needs to come up and prepare for the run. The offensive tackle stands up for pass protection blocking. You better get his tail covering that receiver. Minna up the middle this time.
Deacon Minna, the ball carrier.
Matt Russell and Jordan Brock on the tackle. That was from a shotgun formation. That's kind of new twist here.
And I just watching that, and it kind of defies what we just said because they stood up,
6 yards on the play.
and it was definitely not a pass play. Maybe high schoolers are a little different. 4th and 9.
Well, we're going to see
Ball's on the 44-yard line.
First punting situation of the game. London's defense snapped back there. Real proud of them that time. They got to find little things and build on it.
They're getting better as they go. I said give them about 4 quarters. Good spiral. Leave it alone.
Let that one roll. Get away from it, fellas.
Dalton's punt is down by the arrows at about
So London's going to take over at about the 10-yard line.
Over 1st and 10.
That's a good job forcing their arrows to punt.
Kimberly Hall. Please meet Mr. Ostendorf at the end of the ramp in the stadium near the concession stand.
Well, Gary, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go until halftime. I think if London can at least put together a positive drive here, that's got to be good news going in, getting ready at halftime for the second half.
And so far they've been doing, I think they've done okay. Like I said, there's been a few mistakes, but you're going to get that with the new offense and with young kids, young players. London takes over, 1st and 10, on the 10. The ball's on the 9.
Well, London staying with their spread formation. Got Roby to the bottom of your screen, Myers in a slot, Edley lined up at tight end. That's Jordan Brock running the ball off tackle.
Got a little hole up the middle there, and he might be good for about 7 or 8 yards.
Well, they took that right over top of 75 Justin Dillard, so he's back in the ball game. Made a nice block there.
Stop along with number 75, Mark Roberts.
Good to see him back. No injuries. Running full bore. We got Roby to the wide this side. And
to the top of your
about
screen.
6 yards on the play.
we have an official time, I believe.
Well, the clock's still running.
Official timeout.
Look at the clock still running.
It's stopped now.
Yeah, they messed up. Put time back on the clock. Jeez. That's sad.
That's high school football. Okay. It's time for Josh to take over. Dickens sets back pass formation.
He's looking for Myers.
Looking for room.
You better run.
Nowhere to go. And threw an interception.
That's Andy Burns. 5'8", 154-pound senior outside linebacker on that. I think Josh just thought he was going to throw it away and didn't see 45 standing there.
He's hurt too.
He tight-roped the sideline. Made a nice interception.
Made a beautiful interception and tightrope, stayed in bounds.
Unfortunately, it looks like Josh is down.
And the Arrows take over 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line. Looks off under his own strength.
Just looks like maybe he's a little woozy. Might have got taken a hard hit there. So well, London lines up on defense now. Chance for the Arrows to put a real arrow in the heart here of the Red Raiders. Stroop under center, wing T formation, veered to the left. That's Tristan Murray, number 22.
Tristan Murray.
Tristan Murray, the ball carrier.
Tell you what, they talk about him being recruited by a lot of major colleges. He's fast, he's slippery.
Brock, you know, for London.
Read a couple stats in the paper about him.
About 6 yards.
Runs a 4.640, which is pretty doggone quick for a high school kid.
15-yard line.
Got a 4.3 grade point average too.
Yeah, that's what they're looking big time at, that grade point average too.
Deadlifts 450 pounds, Springfield paper says.
Yeah, he's not that big.
He's driving that time, but looks like Billy Gossard and
Murray, the ball carrier. There is a flag on the play.
Derek Wallace in there on the tackle.
Derek Wallace.
Clip. Preliminary indication, clipping against the Arrows.
We got a preliminary call. I guess clipping the Arrows, was that about 15?
Should be 15.
Bring him back.
One other thing they're stressing this year on the Ohio High School Athletic Association with the officials is the sportsmanship issue and the trash talking and all that's been going on as of late. And they're trying to eliminate as much of that as possible and telling the officials to throw the hanky if need be to stop all the trash talking on the field.
I had one parent tell me they was at a scrimmage game and it was trash talking so bad they left. They wouldn't stay for the game. Not London.
That's
Murray again.
Murray. He's got a big blocker.
He's gone. And he just jumped into the end zone like a deer. He went airborne to get over the last 3 yards. There's that 4.46 speed.
I'll tell you what, he was quick. You got to give just as much credit. Big old number 75, Mark Roberts, 258-pounder, was out there in front of him, leading the way.
Our guys ran into each other when he jumped. They hit each other.
They did. If you see it on tape, when he jumped between them, London's trying to make the tackle and he smacked into each other.
I think that's Sean Myers down. I think he'd already hurt his arm once, so hopefully he's okay. Well, once again, one of London's leaders being hobbled off the field.
Sean Myers, that's the second one we've taken off.
Let's hope London can regroup at halftime and come out here.
We got 1:10 to go in the first half. And Arrows just punches in.
Clark, the left-footed kicker's made 2 of them so far. Just kind of pops it up and just gets it far enough.
Can he go 3 for 3? Ball's down, it's blocked. Looked like it was blocked.
No good, but that makes it the Arrows.
Might give Roby or Alcott the credit there. I couldn't see.
Somebody got in there. So I'll give you the score right now of 20-0. And we got 1:10 left to go in this first half. London's down. 5th kickoff.
Well, Donnie Stroop's leg might be getting a little tired. He's done a nice job so far kicking off. Looks like we'll have Jordan Brock back and adding a new return man back there. Looks like maybe 33 Andenberg.
Donnie Stroop set to kick off for the Arrows.
Andenberg, I haven't seen him back there yet.
He's a backup tailback. He's quick.
He's a senior, Wes Andenberg.
Tell you what, these lights at this new stadium are doing a nice job. This is the first time they've used them here.
Yeah. They were like the hospitality too. They just ushered us right in, right behind the complex here, and helped us get our equipment up here. Really appreciate that.
He kicks a little squibber. It looks like Matt Russell's going to pick it up for the Red Raiders.
Hunt on ball, Matt.
Ooh, he gets hit hard. They're trying to fight the ball out of his hand.
They were trying their best to strip it.
For London.
He was down.
He was hit and spun and down.
Well, let's see who London checks in at quarterback here. Since Dickin was starter, Myers is normally the backup, or set to be backup.
Myers is in there.
I'd say number 22, Tyler Buchanan, should be on the offense. Tyler did a nice job in the scrimmage. I was real impressed.
Was Tyler a sophomore?
Tyler's a junior.
Junior, okay. He's thrown into the far right away, isn't he?
Hand off to Jordan Brock up the middle.
And he fights his way for about 5 or 6 yards. And we're going to run the clock down. We got under 50 seconds to go in the first half. We have a score of 20-0.
One more play for the Red Raiders here. I'd look for him probably just keep the ball on the ground and
get out of this first half with 20 points. I'd say we've done something.
Try to circle the wagons and head in the locker room, try to regroup and see what we can make out of this second half.
Rub down some of them sore muscles. Oh, Tyler's setting up the throw. Oh, he's playing like a veteran. Oh no!
Oh, he was throwing for Headley, but he was a little short.
Is intended for number 84.
Go ahead, Tyler. Tyler swung back there like he
That's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Raiders.
Veteran.
Brings up 3rd down for the Arrows. Excuse me, for London.
Tecumseh's got 2 timeouts left here. London.
I'm surprised they run a play where we stop the clock.
Well, London doesn't pick up the first down here. Tecumseh might call a timeout and make London, force London to punt the ball to at least give him a chance to return it. If you got a return man like Tristan Murray, you never know what might happen. Hand off to Brock, coming up the middle.
And he's brought down close to a first down.
It'd be close to a first down, depending on the mark.
Deacon Minna on the stop for the Arrows.
And they're going to run the clock out. We got a smart person on that clock. Oh, they stopped it. 6.7 seconds. That's something we were talking about.
Stop it for a measurement.
Last week.
This one's too close for even me to call, Gary.
This is one they should have let the clock run and just let it run out, because there's nothing going to happen here, even if we get a first down out of it. Except for delay a game, start the game, delay, start.
Gives me the opportunity
well, as soon as the chains are off the field,
this evening, as
looks like London's going to be a little short.
Lions, RV Lions, Mark Holbrook, Paul Snipes.
Now, if Tecumseh uses a timeout here, they could stop the clock as soon as the chains are off the field. The clock should start.
Call timeout.
Tecumseh's going to force London to punt.
Yep.
Have a timeout.
London's going to go for it.
They best go for it. I wouldn't put the ball in the air.
6.7 seconds left. I don't think I'd kick it.
Ready to start the game back. We got 6.7 seconds. The Arrows, I think they were planning on trying to force London into punting, but London's just going to take a knee.
Minna try to jump over the pile here.
I'm going to go down.
Minna creates a pile in the background.
And there's 1.7 seconds, and they take Arrows take over.
Looks like the Arrows are going to get one more play out of this. You could see Deacon Minna lined up right there like he was just going to jump the pile, and that's almost exactly what he did. He just bull rushed his way in.
Take over, 1st and 10.
So they're going to get one more play out of it.
It's 1st and 10
with 1.7 tenth second. And we have a timeout arrow. Okay, we got 1.7 tenth seconds to go. Arrow's got the ball.
It's like the Arrows spread formation.
They're going for
He's going deep to Murray.
And good defense, and we were in the quarter.
Number 3, Roby back there.
Roby back there, and that's into the half for the score. The Arrows 20, London zip. Stay around, we're going to do the London Marching Band. We're coming at you. How are we doing on timer, Mr. King?
Tonight, the London High School Marching Band will perform portions of their contest show, The Best of Ray Charles, with such hits as Georgia on My Mind, with Brian Blair on trumpet, Hit the Road Jack, featuring Brian Blair on trumpet, and Matt Klein on trombone, and Mike Wood on mellophone. The London High School Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. David Trent, and is assisted by Susie Smith, Jeannie Smith, and Jason Novak. Thank you, London High School Band. Jolly good show. Smoking is prohibited in the bleachers.
Well, Keith, we got about 2 minutes to go before the second half kicks off. London's looking at a 20-0 deficit there.
Well, it's got to be a little disheartening for London. A couple early fumbles kind of took the wind out of their sails. Now a couple key injuries to Sean Myers and Josh Dickens. And, you know, London's suddenly scrambling looking for some answers. So.
I'm not so sure that they are hurt. I know they went out and they held them out at the end of the half, which is a smart move to get them rested up just in case they aren't hurt too bad. Plus, Dickens playing both ways. He's going to get some knocks and bruises. You know, playing both ways as rough as the situation he's in, he's going to be the one that's going to take the major part of the blunt. So overall, I think we're not really looking that bad. We got 2 or 3 major mistakes that turned into scores for them. But other than that, I think we haven't played that good. We got the ball down to the 1-yard line.
You know, positive things for the Red Raiders. I say the play of their defensive backs and their linebackers has been real good so far. On D, you know, on offense, I think the offensive line's done a fairly good job. It's just been a few mishaps here and there, and I think we can get this thing turned around in the second half.
One thing good about the situation here is you said you had something to do for the Pee Wee gang or the Little League.
Well, actually, I did want to kind of get the word out tonight. We signed up more kids than we've ever had for our Pee Wee program in town. We've got 130 kids signed up. Last year at this time we had about 105 kids. We've added a 6th team, so if there's any kids out there from any of the county schools getting ready to go into 4th, 5th, or 6th grade and like to get involved with Pee Wee football, we'd like to have you, so stop in London Paint Plus and within the next week, and we'll get you assigned to a team.
Do you have a name for the new team you put in?
It's going to be the Bengals, Gary.
Oh, my Bengals. Okay, well, we got just 1 to 30 seconds to go for kickoffs, I guess. So stick around, folks. We got another half of football, and I'm looking for London. I say I'm giving them a total of about six quarters, and you'll see an entirely different football team. It's going to take some time to get this situation under control and everybody doing everything they're supposed to do at the same time, but I'm going to be positive about it. Let's get it done, guys. Take it to the field, Carl. Good job. That car is getting better every time he gets near that camera, I tell you. Used to be I could say take it to the field, and he'd look at me like, when I feel like it, when I get ready. He's done a great job, and you people ought to be thankful to have somebody like that to get out here. Because there's been times we've stood out, or he has stood out. You could look like he'd take a little hammer, hit his fingers, and they'd break off. It'd be so cold, run that camera. But he hangs right in there and brings his stuff to you. And to top it off, neither one of us have any children in the program, so I hope you people appreciate what Carl does, and thanks to all the sponsors who help make this possible each year. It's a great ride. I'm getting younger every day. I'm not going to tell how old I told you how old Carl was. We'll have that clip at the end of the game here. Yeah, so
Carl's birthday party.
Carl's birthday party in Arlington. I'm not going to show the party because he got to doing some, you know, the limbo stick. How low can you go?
Pizza scoreboard.
He's quite a dancer too. They had a great time, and I'll tell you what, we had probably 50 or 60 people from London drive all the way to Arlington to be part of this surprise birthday party they had for him and his twin sister. So. And we had a great time. It was really, really nice. And then to get the key to the city from the mayor, and I don't think I said at all, they proclaimed it Carl and Carla King Day. Not only did they get a key to the city, but they proclaimed it their day. So, I mean, how many people can say that? That's quite an honor.
We also met Mr. T and Whoopi.
You're right. Mr. T was there, and Whoopi. I didn't see Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi.
Okay, okay. But John wasn't there. We couldn't find John. Yeah, we're getting ready to kick off. Go ahead, Keith.
I'm looking out here, London warming up on the field, and I'm trying to see if we got number 10, number 12 out there warming up. And
10's over on the sideline there, walking. I know that walk anywhere.
Yeah, Dickon looks like he's limbering back up for the second half.
Mars is over there throwing the ball.
And Mars is also on the sideline throwing. So we've got a full crew out there.
Well, London's going to be kicking off to start this second half of the ball game. So,
well, I'll tell you another thing. Not only we're looking at possible injuries, but we're looking at how you want to put this, some ego injuries, because Josh is looking for a perfect game, and it's going to be hard to get what all he wants to accomplish, this early in the season with all, inexperienced players.
Well, got a lot of new faces, a completely new offensive set, which, I think it's exciting to run. I think it puts tremendous amounts of pressure on the defense, but it puts a lot of pressure on the offense to make sure that they've got the proper play called each time. Receivers, the line, and the quarterback are all taking signals coming into the no-huddle situation.
From all different people.
From 3 different coaches.
3 different coaches. So
the blocking scheme and everything's got to be on the same page for this offense to work. And we've seen maybe a little confusion, but I think they're going to get it together.
And it's not going to happen overnight, but I firmly believe it's going to happen. So we're going into the third quarter. Like I said, I'm giving us 6 to 8 quarters maybe, and we'll have this thing under wraps.
Well, next week we go up to Sunbury Big Walnut, Gary, and we're going to see one of the feature backs in Central Ohio, Charlie Smith. He's dynamite. He ran over top of a few players last year, and I think he's probably looking to do some more running over top of more players this year.
That used to be one of our highlight games. And if I remember right, they never could beat us, could they? We'd go up there and end up winning in the last few seconds, or...
Well, Gary, I don't know how many people I talked to last year that said London should have won that first ball game against Big Walnut last year. And just a few unfortunate turnovers, and it didn't happen. So next week's game ought to be another great one.
This is London's first kickoff.
Myers kicking deep to 22, Tristan Murray.
And he's trouble.
He's got wheels.
But he wheels nowhere as number
51.
51, that would be
John Lewis.
Kyle Thomas.
Kyle Thomas, senior.
Getting dark up here. Can't see the paperwork.
1st and 10 for the Arrows. Ball spotted on their own 35-yard line.
This isn't quite as lit up as London's field. They don't have the amount of lighting that London has.
Looks like London's going with his full set of starters on defense.
They come out with a pass play with what's the name wide open.
Gillespie almost gets him. Roby misses.
He's not going to get him.
Myers, Roby, Murray.
This kid is something to watch. And how did you know? You know that was going to happen. They've been run, and all of a sudden they catch us unaware.
Well, in the wing T offensive formation, Murray starts out on the left-hand side there, and the linebacker's got to pick him up. And with Murray's kind of speed against the linebacker, that's hard to cover. The safety's got him in a too-deep coverage, but when he's that quick, it's hard to stop. And that's the first time they've run that play tonight. So.
Yeah, I think they recruited him. And just like that, we have a score. 11:39 left in the third quarter. It was 11:39 left in the first quarter when they scored the first touchdown. So we went off, what, 20 seconds? About 21 seconds. And we have a score of 27-0. Looks like the guru in Springfield Sun knew what he was talking about.
Just happened to notice on that time, Dickon wasn't back there on defense. It looked like maybe he'd been setting out, so maybe they're just going to try to play him one way the second half.
Well, we're going to see what London's going to do here, because this is a situation now where you could very easily say, well, it's over, just give up. We got a whole half of a football game to play. So let's see if we can dig in here. And
one thing I see here, Gary, is that London's got to find positive things and try to build off of that. And it may not always result in the final scoreboard, but finding a few positives and building on it for next week, and then building on it for the next week.
Stop set to kick off for the Arrows. Sean Myers, Jordan Brock, deep for London.
Well, pretty soon here, Strop's leg's going to be getting tired from kicking off. So
he's had not enough practice tonight, that's for sure.
He takes quite a run at the ball. Most kickers take about a 7-yard run. He takes about an 11-yard run at it. Nice kick, though. It's Jordan Brock back there deep at the 5-yard line. Slips a little, he keeps running.
And we get a return of about 10 yards. Brock returns the ball back up to about the 30-yard line. Coxdale makes the tackle. London takes over 1st and 10 on about 29.
Well, we saw Buchanan and Myers playing catch on the sideline at halftime, so it does look like number 10 Dickin is in there at quarterback.
You're going to have to really put him flat on his back before you keep him out of there. Dickens he's a warrior.
Edley and Myers to the bottom of your screen. Gillespie far to the bottom of your screen. Edley's out into a short pattern.
Trouble.
Dickens running for his life. Throwing for Edley, incomplete.
He was running for his life, and he wasn't able to have enough strength to swing back and get the pass to Edley.
Well, Brandon did a nice job. He saw the pattern was broken off. He basically started running back to his quarterback to try to find an open area to catch the ball. Just a little underthrown by Dickin.
So we got Dickin going up under the quarter, under the center.
This is a little new twist. He's going to run quarterback keeper.
And he's within a yard or two, 1st down.
Well, that was 2nd and 10. That was kind of an odd call, but looked like it worked for the Raiders.
Quick hitter. What would you call that? Quarterback sneak? That's what they used to call it.
Yeah.
And Mark Roberts on the stop for the Arrows.
Caught him off guard, I guess.
Well, number 40, Deacon Mena, was lined up at middle linebacker. He's kind of split out here to the edge a little bit for the Arrows. That's Brock. Deacon Mena there on the tackle for the Arrows.
I'm not seeing a lot of blocking coming off that play.
Deacon Mena and Andy Burns on the stop for the Arrows.
I think this offense is predicated on the offensive lineman making a quick block, not necessarily sustaining a block, and which is fine in a quick passing situation, but when you run off tackle like that, you got to hold that
Somebody's
block
got to hold something, for sure. It's 10-20 to go in the 3rd quarter. We have a score of 27-0, and Brock will be punting. 4th and 3 on the 32-yard line.
Got some real speed back deep for the Arrows. Tristan Murray and Kendall.
They give him all the time in the world to kick.
Jordan Brock gets a nice kick down there.
I think they might have thought the ball had hit somebody because I've seen
But Sean Myers down there on the coverage.
The Arrows made a desperate play to cover the ball. So they're going to take over on the
down on about the 33-yard
line.
Arrows will take over 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Arrows. We're under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
I think this New Carlisle team's trying to make a name for themselves. I'd look for them to pile on the points.
John Kendall, the ball carrier.
That's 21 Kendall, the senior. He's been steady runner all night for the Arrows.
Zach Sexton in on the stop.
I'm not clear on what you mean by pile on the points.
Well,
I mean, the opposite of the game is to score points.
Yeah, but
and
New Carlisle is coming off a 6-4 year. They're ranked in the state in some polls that you see, and I think they're really trying to make a name for themselves. So, you may see them maybe play the starters a little bit longer than they might. With
there goes Mr. Football. He's on the loose again. Getting material. Christian Murray with about another 40-yard run. How many?
About 38 yards there, Gary.
Yeah. Christian Murray, whenever he gets his hand on the ball,
I'd say I'd definitely put him over
trouble.
100 yards rushing for the night, and I'd say he's got almost 60 yards receiving on one play. So his all-purpose yards on returns and everything's got to be up over 200 yards.
He's everything what they made him out to be. In this game, anyway,
The thing is, a lot of times he doesn't even line up in the backfield.
And they finally got a miscommunication. London's very aggressive on that play. I think Carl was thinking it might have been a little excessive roughness there.
Don't want a penalty.
Well, no penalties.
In the pros, the guy has to be touched, but in high school, if he's laying on a fumble, he's down.
He's down and dirty.
Ball spotted on about the 24-yard line.
It's like 2nd and 14 for the Arrows here. Watch Murray out to the left here. Looks like Kendall around the left-hand side. He's got some blockers. He's slippery.
Diversion.
That's going to be a holding call on the Arrows, though.
The ball carrier, a flag on the play.
They've got away with quite a few holding calls, non-calls, which is really a mark of a good team. If you can get away with it, you keep doing it.
Indication clipping against the Arrow.
Oh, we got a clip that
They're
time.
going to call a clip. They're going to call it on the wide receiver, cutting back on the. Looked like to me maybe they had a hold there, but I'm not always correct.
Are you serious? That's the first minute.
It's going to bring up 2nd and long, very long.
And real long. 15-yarder on that. So we've got about 2nd and 30.
Clipping against the Arrows. The ball is now spotted just inside the 39-yard line.
And who do they go to?
Murray around the right-hand side. He's got a blocker. Oh, nice tackle by Matt Russell.
Yeah.
Matt Russell hit him high, but got enough of him to take him down.
And he was more or less dragging Russell as he went around that corner. Russell hung on, made the stop.
That's going to bring up 3rd and about 22.
Brings up 3rd and about 22 for the Arrows.
You're right on, ain't you, buddy?
I just eyeballed that one.
About the 32-yard line.
Inside handoff, 42. Oh, nice stick there.
Nothing doing.
That looked like Matt Russell.
67 was in on that one, too.
That's Gossard, I believe.
That Gossard?
Yep, Billy Gossard, Jr., 6'3", 220.
And we got Edley coming out. Slight limp there.
Brings up 4th down.
Oh, the Arrows are pretty much in 4-down territory here. They're going to go for it with about 4th and
20. Ball's on the 30-yard line. If we can hold here.
Wing T formation, Murray in motion.
Yep, there he goes.
Stroop's going to go back to pass.
And he's clipped up by number 33.
That's Wes Andenberg back there.
Yeah, 33, Andenberg. Andenberg come in there and made a beautiful pass.
Gary, there's one of those positives that you can build on now.
That's
Defense
right.
Gets a stop, does a nice job.
You just count the quarters and then you tell me if I'm right.
Well, the first 8 quarters of the season are against some pretty tough football teams in Big Walnut and
the first 12 quarters is going to be pretty decent.
And Northeastern in the 3rd ball game is
they're not shabby.
They got a kid back by the name of Matt Paul that's about 260-pound fullback that just runs over people.
Yeah, he does run over people. I remember him last year. Coming taking to the right.
To the right. Out there to Myers.
Overthrown.
Pass intended for Sean Myers, incomplete. Tom Fisher.
And that pass had to be thrown to the right spot because he had good coverage on him.
I'm a little concerned. London's pretty predictable on throwing to the wide side of the field with Dicken rolling to his right. I know it's awful hard for a quarterback to roll to his left and still throw, but
they were pulling it off in the scrimmage. They pulled some rolling the opposite way and throwing back across his body.
Oh, I like London when they do run that option play too. I think that they've done real well with that because of the athleticism of Dicken. He's rolling to his right again. He's got Edley open.
Edley's got the ball. He makes the juke move, and he's driven out of bounds on about the 50-yard line, but not until after a first down is chalked up. Good catch by Edley.
Is that on the 50 or the 49 or the 51, Gary?
Well, if we in Canada, we just say, hey, look, 49 and a half. He said the nose is on the 50, but he put the ball back in London territory.
Yeah, London's getting their signal in. Myers seems to have lost something. Oh, he's putting his glove back on. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. This is kind of an odd formation on the tight side of the field. So maybe the option coming right to the
got
short
everybody
side.
On this side. He let it
They're
let
looking
it up.
for Alcott, number 5.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh yes.
Intended for number 50.
We got a flag out there, and I'm not saying there should be some kind of
flag on the play.
Oh, he took the ball and run with it.
I tell you, Josh Alcott did a nice job there with his body positioning to get that flag called. I'm not so sure Josh could have caught that ball.
Well, Josh was so small, the defender was high, he was blocked from the ball. I'm not even sure Josh could even see the ball.
I don't think this crowd here is going to like this one, but they are going to call the...
Well, very much they should. The kid went down like a rag.
That should be a 10. Oh, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yep, and a first down. Good call.
Pass interference.
Well, that's the first time we've seen London run 3 receivers to the way short side of the field like that.
It'll be first and 10.
And then went for the home run ball. And the play was there. The ball just wasn't there. So we got first and 10 on the 35-yard line. And we're still building on the positive.
Dicken rolls to his left. He's got Myers out there.
Quick out to Myers.
He slips by number 5. Oh.
And he's brought down hard after a gain of maybe a yard. He was brought down pretty hard, but he managed to hold on to the ball. We're in the third quarter with a score of 27-0. London on the losing end right now with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 9 on the 34-yard line.
I'm kind of surprised out of this formation, Gary, that we haven't seen London throw a lot more sharp, crisp passes without Dicken even moving.
Well, that's what I was saying in the first part of the game when we got down close. Before we got down there, I'm looking for some quick look.
There's the quick passes we were talking about.
Dicken's pass intended incomplete.
What'd they call? What'd they do?
Oh, got a little extracurricular activities there between John Kendall and Sean Myers. They've been going at each other all night. A little frustration there.
Ain't ever seen that.
I missed that. I don't even know what happened.
Brings up 3rd and 9 for London.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Gary. The quick pass, just having Dicken just turn and fire, try to get the ball to the outside. That's the advantage of the spread. When the quarterback is rolling and running, it gives the corners time to step up and make a play. So.
Well, I think we're underestimating the quickness of this team, too.
But old Dicken is quicker on this side here.
Catch the ball.
It's Alcott, number 5,
goodness.
intercepted.
I seen it happening.
At number 25, Heath Holmes, their all-league selection from last year.
You heard me holler, catch the ball. I didn't think he was going to throw it. I thought he was going to keep it.
I tell you, he threw it into a pile of black jerseys there.
Pile of black jerseys. And after the interception there, the Arrows take over 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line. So now we got to get another positive going here to build on.
Well, Dicken's back on defense now. Of course, they got burned the last possession Well, the first
I tell you what, Mr. Football right there just didn't quite get the ball. He gets his hands on it, we got problems.
2nd and 10 for the Arrows.
Nice effort by Murray there. I mean, even on a play where the ball wasn't there, he still gave it his all to try to catch that ball.
Here are some third period scores around the area. Third period, Colonel White, 16.
It's pretty neat how they're giving out the scores around the area and stuff.
Beaver Creek, 0. Eaton, 16.
Well, with cell phones and everything like that, you know, get somebody calling in from a site and reporting what's going on. Murray in motion.
Quick hitter up the middle. And then on that tackle, let me see who got there.
Minna, the ball carrier.
It's like bottom of the pile.
Russell's in on that tackle.
Looks like 67 Gossard and 31 Matt Russell. Edley. And Edley's checking himself out now. London needs one more defensive player here.
Are you sure?
No, actually looks like DiFilippo checked in. Number 34 checked in for the Raiders.
Here comes Murray. Oh, he still ain't down. He don't want to go down, does he? Wow. He got cracked that time, though. You heard him pass.
Tell you what, Anderberg took a hit from Murray that time. He stuck his head in there. They cracked hard. You could hear it up here.
You could hear it.
4th down for the Arrows.
So London holds this time. Defense, it seems like they're starting to hold up.
Well, and the Arrows are still playing their first team offense. I mean, they're not, you know, they're still running Minnan and Murray right at you. So.
For the Arrows. Myers and Brock deep for London.
That's
a good high punt.
Fair catch by Brock.
And London will take over at about the 41-yard line.
That's good.
First and 10 for London.
Good field position for London. Good defense.
London's 41.
Real good.
They'll take over 1st and 10.
So we are 3:36 to go in the third quarter. 27-0 in favor of the Arrows. London goes on the offense. 1st and 10 on the 41-yard line.
Now we got 3 receivers lined up to the short side of the field for London. Alcott on the wide side to the bottom of your screen. Edley's in tight at the tight end position. They look like they're in a blitz. Dickin around the left side.
Little quarterback keeper there. Took the hand off to Brock inside and took it to the left side. He might have got a yard or two. And like I said, we got a score of 27-0, but that score is not really as bad as the game as they think, would think the game would be by looking at that score.
Well, second half's been pretty fair, except for that first play of the second half, the 65-yard pass.
Well, that's what kills the first play of the first half. They scored like that in the first play and kind of shot us in the foot. And then come out and bust us real quick at the first play of the second half.
London's got 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Alcott to the top. Dickin in shotgun formation. He's looking for Gillespie.
Good looking.
Gillespie makes the catch.
Good play. Good catch by Gillespie.
And we got a flag on the field, too.
Yeah, there was a flag.
Face mask, maybe?
It might have been.
Face mask.
It
was on the tackle.
Yeah. Surely wasn't.
That was pass was on the money, too. That was good.
Against the Arrows.
Give us some more yards. London's got a score tonight now.
I thought Kyle Gillespie did a nice job. He drove his man deep, cut into the post a little bit. Nice route.
Incidental, man's like 5 yards.
That's just what you call an incidental face mask call, 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty.
Spotted on the 32-yard line.
Ball's on the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. That's about the most yards we've picked up on a play so far, isn't it?
It's about the farthest we've thrown downfield, too, so.
And we're all huddled up here on this side. Jordan swings left.
side.
And he's cut down after a pickup of about 2 yards. He went down quick, didn't he?
Yeah, man. He was running, and wow.
I'll tell you what, though.
Wham, man, hit a wall.
Do you need that on there now with
Tell you what, Deacon Minute from the linebacker position has done a wonderful job tonight for the Arrows. And linebacker pursuit.
Ball's now on the Arrow 29-yard line.
Okay, we got 2nd and 7 on the 29-yard line.
Brock comes in motion in the shorts to this side of the field. Screen pass to Brock.
Good catch.
And they're gonna call a motion penalty on London.
I think it's pass caught.
Yeah, they flag went down the backfield.
Flag on the play.
He's not looking at it.
I don't quite understand that particular call there.
Preliminary indication.
We may have to find out.
Against London.
The only reason I said that is to say you have to peek through that hole.
Yeah.
1:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. I think we have a motion penalty going against us.
It looked like to me that Jordan ran straight sideways. I didn't see him turn upfield. He doesn't have to be set, so I guess I don't quite understand that.
2nd and 13.
2nd and 13.
Ball's now spotted on the 34-yard line of the Arrows.
This is just so much different than you should see him get in a huddle and come out, the big hand clap, and
Yeah.
let's go, and it's like we're all walking around out there, something that we get used to.
Oh, they're on a blitz.
Oh, catch the ball.
Dickens' pass intended for Brock is incomplete.
Man, a lot of them plays have just been like a fingertip away from turning into a good play.
Well, you saw Jordan go in the middle of the pack, and I didn't quite see how he managed to scoot out of that pack. But
Well, the pack come after after the
Dickens.
quarterback, which left an empty spot. It's like going down the freeway and you look in your rearview mirror and here comes a pack of cars. Next thing you know, they're gone and you're still sitting there trying to obey the rule.
You wouldn't know about that, would you, Gary?
I don't believe in tickets
You're leading the
anymore.
You're leading the pack.
The pack, well, they can't catch me if I don't want them to.
Third and 13.
Dickens sets back.
That's a floater, number 5 on the interception. It's like Dickens makes the tackle. That was Tom Pfister on the interception there. That ball just kind of floated out there.
I was still looking for the receiver in that area.
Yeah.
I was close to that. I'm sure it must have been somebody out there, but I didn't see
Somebody
it.
out there, yeah, about 3 people.
Did he?
Well, New Carlisle's keeping their first team offense in there as far as backs go, but they have started to work in their backup quarterback, number 10, Brenton Whalen, a junior.
So New Carlisle takes over. Comes 1st and 10 on the
That's
39-yard
Murray.
line. Murray probably hadn't got the amount of yards they want him to have for tonight.
Stop for London.
It's like,
And with a lead like this, I don't know if I'd want to keep him in there.
it's like Aaron Roby and Derek Wallace made a nice tackle that time for Raiders.
Gain of about 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to work some of their players in with the first team offense, give them a little bit of experience running with the first team O.
1.5-yard line.
We're almost the end of the 3rd quarter here.
And that makes a difference when you get to run with the big boys. When they put the whole second team in there together, you just seem like you don't pick up as much as you do when you're playing with the better kids. So we're going to run the clock out on this and end this quarter. Did get the playoff. And I believe they picked up the first down.
John Kendall up the middle.
So at the end of 3,
First down for the Arrows.
with the Arrows were 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line, we have a score of 27-0. time it was. No, I didn't. Keith, 1st and 10, 26-yard line. Here come the arrows.
That's Murray from the fullback position. Tell you what, Whalen, the backup quarterback, did a nice job carrying out his fake there.
Can I have your attention, please? Dr. Prasuti. Dr. Prasuti. Dr. Prasuti, please go to the team bench. Dr. Prasuti, please go to the Arrow team bench.
We'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Arrows. They still got a lot of first-teamers in there. Comes 21. He makes a nice run.
And we got
John Kendall.
Matt Russell on that tackle, along with Edley.
Kendall, the ball carrier.
And 77. Who's 77?
77's Ty Blake, I believe. Ty Blake, a sophomore, 170
I believe
pounds.
he might have been on that tackle too.
3rd and 4 for the Arrows.
Is that a fog setting in out around this field? Look under them lights.
A little bit of fog coming in here. 3rd and 4. Who's got the ball? That's 42. Nice run.
He's finally knocked off his feet by number...
That's Dickin, made a nice tackle.
Josh Dickin plows him
Looks like he
over
might
an
have
open field.
paid the price a little bit
Picks
too.
up another 1st down for the Arrows.
But not till after the Arrows pick up another 1st down.
It's
27-0.
The ball spotted on London's 13-yard line.
We got 10 minutes to go in the contest. And the Arrows are knocking on the door again.
Here comes the lonely end to the bottom of the field down here.
They're going to find him one of these times. I can see him cutting across the middle and picking up a pass.
Got the 2nd team QB in there. I bet he hands off to Murray, and he does.
And Murray slips loose.
Murray slips loose, and he's sticking.
And he rides in. You see that kid? He rides his way in. That's the 2nd time he's done that.
You know, unfortunately, Gary, I don't think the best back we're going to see this season is going to be Tristan Murray. Seeing Charlie Smith next weekend for Big Walnut is, I don't know, but Murray's putting on quite a show tonight, isn't he?
He's lived up to everything they've had him build up to be. And there goes the extra point, and it's good. And the score is now 34 Arrows 34. He missed the point. So we have a score of 34, and we have 10 minutes to go in this contest. And the guru from Springfield Sun.
He calls himself the Wizard.
The Wizard of Oz. Okay. And Arrows, yeah, I don't have to go to work till after Labor Day, so I don't have to face these guys from down here in Tecumseh area. You seen them meet us at the gate.
Yeah.
And when they let us in and said, come on in and take his whooping, I didn't take him seriously then.
Oh, the Wizard in the Springfield paper had 34-13, so
They owe us.
going to be right. London's going to have to get a couple touchdowns here. That's a live ball, fellas.
What in the world? I'm not saying I'm speechless.
I'm speechless too.
I sit there and I watch that and I'm saying, huh?
You know, that's something that you cover, but until you slap on the helmet and you're on the field in a game situation, you freeze up sometimes.
I wanted to say it's a live ball. I said, no, I'm not going to say nothing because what's wrong out there? So something wrong with this picture.
Well, London's back on defense. They better get their head up here real quick. Send in a lot of new faces on defense. It's like number 60, David Shingler Jr. checking in. A lot of clean jerseys out there for London. And the Arrows still got their starters in there. That's 42 Conway. Croxdale.
I'm still amazed at that last play. I'm just like, it didn't happen.
Like I said, you cover that, but until you strap on that helmet, sometimes you just get a brain cramp and you just...
There was nobody going for it.
The Arrows.
Oh, the Arrows was going for it.
Yeah.
They knew what the play was.
Number 50.
That was Derek Wallace on a nice tackle for the Red Raiders.
Come from behind and plowed him under.
You know, as a defensive lineman right there, Derek Wallace did what you got to do. You got to stay after the play. You don't just stop once you're out of it.
He definitely did that. He was out of the play and he come around from behind, finished it off, but not till after they picked up another first down.
London's
first and 10 on the 11-yard line.
A lot of clean jerseys in there. Ty Blake playing some defensive line, Shingler in there. So I don't know if London's got some kids hurt or just trying to get some youngsters some work.
Croxdale tries to make a little spin movement, does add to his carry, picks up a couple more yards off of it.
You know, Gary, I think we're going to have to add to our telecast here. We need one of those telestrator things where we can take an arrow on the screen and we can keep track, and you can circle the man's got the ball, because I can't keep track of it.
Really?
About 8 yards on the play.
Okay, I'll start telling you. I'll tell you from now.
I thought the quarterback was heading around the left side with it.
Oh, really? I told you earlier that quarterback was very elusive. I mean, he carries out his fake. So that's the second string quarterback.
Second string quarterback in there too.
That's not the same one.
So
he handed it off that time.
Didn't fool any of the Red Raiders that time. He ran into a gaggle.
Just watch the tape, Keith. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I got him.
Carl's got him. He's right on it. Just watch the monitor.
Gain of about a yard on the play.
Yeah, just keep the camera on that lonely end out there. One of these times they're going to throw to him.
I'm surprised they haven't caught us. They didn't call us sleep in every other position. He's not out there this time.
3rd and 1. They can get a first down here without going in for the touchdown.
He's in tight.
I'd say he's a little short, but just from my viewpoint. That's Kendall. He's been getting a lot of carries. I don't think we're going to see any more of Murray tonight.
Yeah, he's done his day's work.
Official time.
And in timeout.
I've also been real impressed with their number 40, Deacon Minna. He's played great defense, and a few times he's had the ball. He's 6'4", 215. He runs hard.
Well, 34-0 right now with 7-something to go in the game.
First down.
Like you said, they could get a first down, and they did.
First and goal for the Arrows. The ball's going to be spotted on about the 1-yard line.
I would venture to say at least 3 or 4 of those touchdowns we've actually given to them. Just some stuff that's going to take experience to get through. It's first and goal on about the 1-yard line. Quarterback just to step in there, because look at that hole right in front of him.
Looks like a wide open hole.
And we got a flag and a touchdown.
Like maybe a little trash talking flag. I think they're going to call the touchdown good. Penalty on the Red Raiders for a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like it's going to be touchdown. What's he saying?
Personal foul, face mask.
Face mask.
London. It is a touchdown, Paul Croxdale.
15 yards. Tacked onto the kickoff.
Seth Clark here for the extra point attempt for the Arrows. Strop on the hold.
They're official started to take off across the field in front of the kicker, and he decided to stay on this side, and he backed up.
Oh, it's like Seth Clark on again for an extra point.
He'll be the leading scorer in the county tonight, just kicking extra points.
He's getting better as the game goes along. He was just popping them up.
So here we go. Stole a few of our points, because it's supposed to have been 34-13. So now it's 41-0. And we still have 7 minutes to go in the final quarter. Keith, I really think right now we got a bunch of kids that are down. And how can you not be down looking at this score and the amount of mistakes they've made? We're going to have to go back to the drawing board. But the big thing that we people have to do around here is encourage these kids. You know, like I say, a lot of them are new, a lot of them are first-year first-teamers. And we just got to encourage them and keep them on the upside. Because from what I've seen, this team is not that bad. It's just, we just got to get it together so it's working as a unit.
Well, and you got to be impressed with, you know, when you talk to people about the Tecumseh program, they talk about a well-disciplined, well-coached football team that executes well, and, you know, they've done all that tonight. Tecumseh's done a nice job. And I tell you what, they're not letting up on the Red Raiders any at all.
This kicker's got a mean first step.
That's Sean Myers back there returning for the Red Raiders.
Ooh, and he takes a good solid hit at the 20-yard line. And he comes up talking smoke, blowing smoke.
I'll tell you, some of the clean jerseys on that kickoff return unit need to get dirty. It's not just about the man that catches the ball.
Tell me about it. Tell Sean about it. I'm sure he's telling somebody. Help me, please. Yeah, it's going to get better. No doubt in my mind.
I can see a few new faces, clean jerseys in there for the...
Have we got a new quarterback?
That is Sean Myers lined up at quarterback.
That's what I thought. I can't see his number, but I can see the difference in the size of the player.
He's going to run straight up the middle, and there ain't nothing there. Ooh, he took a hard hit right in the middle of the back right there.
Myers, the ball carrier.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
Yeah, got a lot of new faces in there on offense. Tyler Scott's still in there at center, but like Derek Wallace is on the offensive line. Duffy's in there.
We're down to 6.5 minutes to go, and 41-0 is the score. Got Myers out to the. That's Buchanan in their quarterback now. Mars is out here in the slot.
Yep, that is Tyler Buchanan's checked in. That's Wes Andenberg trying to run around the left-hand side, and there's nothing doing there.
Yeah, he was clipped before he even, as soon as he touched the ball, and then another defender picked him up. Still in the backfield, so I think we got back to the original line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
3rd and 20. What's that saying? 3rd and 10, the ball's on the 20.
On the stop for the Arrows. 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
Two receivers to the top, two receivers to the bottom.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Pretty much second team O in there. Tyler Buchanan back to pass to Annenberg. The screen wasn't there.
Buchanan's pass intended for Annenberg. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
The bottom line right now, I think, is we've put this offense in. We're going to make it work. We can't give up on it because of some flaws we've seen tonight and stuff like that. You have to give it a chance.
Yep.
Now, I know a lot of people are going to be talking noise about it, but we got to give it a chance.
Kendall and Murray deep for the Arrows.
Nothing happened overnight.
Rock into punt.
Yeah, he got a good spar out of it. Out of bounds at about the 55-yard line.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, kicking the ball away. They put Murray back in there to return. So
At about the 40-yard line, where the Arrows will take over 1st and 10.
1st and 10 on the 55-yard line. Yeah, Murray, he ain't had enough yet, so he went in this possible kickoff return for a touchdown and get player of the week in this area.
You know, the other side of the football for the Arrows, I've been very impressed by their defense. They've done a real nice job. You know, this spread offense puts a little extra pressure on the defense to get their reads and making sure that they've got the right coverages, and they've done a nice job tonight.
Yeah, because it does spread you out. As we have a timeout. 1st and 10, 40-yard line.
I tell you, we got a full complement of fresh jerseys in there for the Arrows now. Nice tackle there by 34 DiFilippo.
Uh-oh, we got some pushing and shoving going on here.
Gain about a yard on the play.
Frustrations are showing.
2nd and 9 for the Arrows.
Hey, you got some new kids in for the Arrows. They're trying to make a name in front of the coach.
Carl just told me they had praying mantis flying around. I don't like them things. Them things are big.
Down spot on the Arrows 42-yard line.
Said they crossed the praying mantis with a termite.
What do you get, Gary?
A termite praying for eat your house, I guess.
Boom.
Something like that. I just blew the joke, but
It says grace before it eats your house.
yeah, it says grace before it eats your house.
Ooh. It's like
Slider, the ball carrier.
Lord bless this piece of wood I'm about ready to corner of this house. I'm about ready to take out.
that looked like 77 Ty Blake and 34 Nick DiFilippo in there.
2 yards on the play. 3rd and 7.
Try to catch some of the new numbers in there for the Red Raiders. It's like Shingler in there, DiFilippo, O'Farrell's running the middle linebacker, Joe Smith's in it, right defensive end. Ty Blake's running nose guard.
We're down to 4 minutes now.
More confusion. Ty
Looked
Blake
like it might have been a loose ball.
Slider, the ball carrier.
London's pointing their way. London's got to recover the fumble.
And London recovers the fumble.
I'll tell you what, Ty Blake caused a little bit of trouble in there. I mean, he's only a 170-pounder, but the nose guard, last year, if you remember, we had about a 140-pound nose guard.
London used to have some real small nose guards. I remember a kid named Kevin Wilson, probably is about 120 pounds soaking wet. And he's about one of the best nose guards to come out of that school, to come through the system.
Well, London's offense back in, they got to call timeout. They don't have the right package on the field.
Timeout.
Never got a timeout. Trainer's right on top of it. Get a good close of that trainer if you can. Maybe we can tell who she is. I don't know if we can draw in that close from up here. I turned her back, now I can't see her face. But I will find out who it is and let you know. Like I said, she's new in the system, and Coach Nancy reached out and is giving people in the community. They go to school and they come back, and he's giving them a chance to show their wares and be a part of the system. And I think that's great. Coach Nancy to be commended for things like that. You see so many communities, they have the kids go off to school and they come back. They want to coach in your system, and you don't give them a chance. They have to go somewhere else to get a chance or do stuff like that. This is great. So now we're looking at 1st and 10. Go ahead, Keith.
Yep, London's got the full package in there now. Got a tailback in there. Looks like Nick DiFilippo checked in. Tyler Buchanan's running for his life. I think they tried to take the life out of him.
And I could almost picture him bringing an arm back to throw it, and the guy standing right there to snatch it out of his hand. But he tucked it in.
Carl, during one of these timeouts, I'd like to see if we get a shot of the new Carlisle head coach down here. He's, from a distance, he kind of looks like a young Woody Hayes out there in his white short sleeve shirt, his gray slacks, and his
Black
dark
cap.
ball cap.
Yeah. He probably thinks he's a young Woody Hayes tonight.
He's wearing headphones now. And I don't think Woody ever put them things on, did he?
Oh, yeah. He only took them off when he wanted to slam somebody.
Buchanan rolling to the right. He's got DiFilippo behind him to pitch. He pitches.
This DiFilippo, he's a horse, too. He's a big boy.
Well, Tyler did a nice job there stretching out the offense. You got to run hard, but you got to keep your head up and pay attention to where everybody else is at on the field too. So.
He was running hard that time. Tyler's, he's a gamer. I believe we do have both teams are running their subs, second stringers.
Yeah, London still has some first string receivers in, but mostly second stringers. Filippo up the middle. That's going to be a first down for the Raiders.
We got 2:18 to go in the contest, London. We would like to walk out of here with a score anyway.
Got to find those little things to build on.
It'll be first and 10 for London. Ball spotted on Arrow's 29-yard line.
This looks a little confusing sometimes for the Red Raiders when they got, 3 sets of signals coming in and everybody kind of standing around looking like they don't know what the heck's going on.
And to us, that's the way it looks. But like I say, it's going to come together. We got to give it a chance.
You've got 25 seconds to get your playoff, so you've got time. Buchanan to pass to Myers, almost intercepted.
It was a thread to needle type thing, and it was actually there.
Intended for number 12, Sean.
Had a collision with Myers and the defense at the same time the ball got there.
10 for London.
So Sean will be in the hot tub tonight.
Tell you what, he's played hard.
Yep.
Taking some hits. 1:39 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for the Red Raiders. Same wide formation. Nothing doing for DiFilippo up the middle.
DiFilippo, the ball carrier.
And we're down to a minute and 25 seconds. 41-0 is the score. 3rd and 10. Can we grind it out and keep the ball
No gain
for the rest of the game?
3rd and 10, London.
It's 3rd and 10 for London.
London watches the time roll off the clock. It would be nice to at least try to put a score together here. Have a little bit of a moral victory. That's DiFilippo again, up the middle. He's running hard, dragged down.
And we're under the minute mark. 41-0 is the score. It's been a long night.
But I think London's probably learned some things about what's going right and what's going wrong. So a chance to make some adjustments before they play up a big walnut next weekend, next Friday.
Well, one thing big wrong that I seen went wrong was when we didn't attack the kickoff.
Buchanan.
I am still amazed with that.
For Edley, he's open.
And Edley was reaching back. And he was kind of thrown behind Edley.
Open for a second there, but not quite, didn't quite lead his receiver.
1st and 10.
So, 1st and 10.
Please help the ROTC by picking up your trash and putting it in a container located at the end of each of the ramps and steps as you leave.
That was a low blow. We're down to 18.6 seconds there, Mr. King. Can we make it?
Take a knee.
Yeah, that'd be my thought.
No, they got all second teamers in there. They're gonna might as well run a play.
Like a little confusion with the Arrows getting the right package on the field. They needed a center to snap the ball. Kind of important.
Yeah, I'd say unless you're playing flag. Oh, Carl called to take a knee. And the whistle blew to stop the clock. What are they doing?
It started. Come on.
So it's been a very interesting night.
And the final score, as the clock runs down 90 miles an hour, that's the fastest thing I've seen all night. The final score, 41 Tecumseh, London 0. This has been a very fine evening as Carl picks up the sportsmanlike conduct. Both teams going out shaking hands at midfield, remembering that this is just a game, and that is it. Oh, got my glasses off, Carl. Don't nobody see. I gotta be cool when I do this, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now we're ready. But anyway, this has been a good game, a good learning experience for London Keith. I think we've probably learned something. We've got another big one next week. Don't give up on us, folks. It's too early in the season. In the meantime, this is Gary McNeil.
And this is Keith Smith.
Along with Carl King saying good night, and I'll see you, but I wouldn't want to be you. Adios. As Tommy Wilson would say, arrivederci, baby. Get me off of here.